Hello, Avon have asked me to do a bookshelf tour. So I thought I would start with showing you my cookery books because I have so many of them. I'm going to spin you around, look. And they are colour coordinated because I am incredibly sad. But it says in the front of my books that I have more cookery books than one woman should. And so I counted them, and it turns out I really do. I have over 120, and they are all colour coordinated. And then I thought I would spin you very quickly to my bookshelves, my proper bookshelves. And that is my daughter's harp, not mine, just in case you think I'm incredibly talented, which I am not. She is. These are my bookshelves, and I have tidied them, so please appreciate the neatness, if you don't mind. Because we live in an Edwardian townhouse. And the upside of this is that I can see the sea all the time, which is glorious. The downside is that it's a very narrow house. And so these are all my books, which proves I am a little bit of a hoarder because I have quite a few. And this is the only room they live in. But what I thought I would also do is show you the books that I adore and that have meant so much to me, and also a few that I'm using for research. So first I thought I would, so I've got these out in prep. So first I thought I would show you The Secret Garden, which was my favourite book as a child. And it just has the most gorgeous illustrations, just beautiful. And I recently read this with my daughter, and she also fell in love with it. And I thought this was going to be the start of a beautiful relationship with all my children's books. And I tried to read her Mallory Towers, and she just wasn't interested. But I'm so glad we got The Secret Garden done. It's just gorgeous. So my book at the moment that's out is called The Forbidden Promise, and I use this book, which is called In Search of Scotland by H.V. Morton. I use this because it has got some fabulous photographs of Scotland. It was written in 1930s, and it's just fabulous. It's pre-war, it's exactly what I needed, and it's just got the most beautiful descriptions of Scotland. And if you're lucky enough to go, it's just like this book says it is, because the Highlands really haven't changed at all. I thought I'd show you a few books that I absolutely adore. So The Chamomile Lawn by Mary Wesley. I am going to confess that I came to this as well as coming to this book, Rosamund Pilcher's Coming Home. I came to these via television dramatisations. And then after I'd watched the TV shows, I then bought these absolutely beautiful books and fell in love with them. And after I discovered my love of Rosamund Pilcher, my grandmother passed away. And in her bungalow, when we went to clear it out, I found this beautiful copy of The Shell Seekers. Really well worn, the spine's completely cracked. But, you know, she obviously loved this book. And I came to this late. Most people come to this of Rosamund Pilcher's first, and then they move on to Coming Home. I was the other way around, and I just fell in love with this book, and I'm really pleased that it's something of my grandmother's that I still own. For those of you that have been following me for quite a while, you will know that I am a complete Kate Morton fiend. Absolutely adore Kate Morton. But I'm also a really weird super fan in that I have saved these two books, and these aren't even her latest, but I have saved them until now to read. And we're in lockdown, so I might actually just get through these. But I'm a bit like this with Lucinda Riley as well. I've saved a few of her Seven Sisters books. These, The Winter Rose and the Tea Rose, this is the first one, and this is these are two of a trilogy. This was my real foray into adult historical fiction. It's about a girl from the East End of London who sets up a tea shop, but she gets there through real hard graft. It's really fabulous. Only a few more to go, I promise. Forties Fashion. This book helps me really describe my characters and what they're wearing, although I tend not to push it too much on the description, but just lovely descriptions of things, and it's beautiful pictures to fall in love with. I absolutely love this book. My book 4, I'm going to skirt over book 3 because I'll talk to you about that another day, but my book 4 is basically going to be about World War One, hopefully. And so I've bought these off Amazon. I had a bit of a panic buy on Amazon when I heard we were going into lockdown, and I have bought some really good. I'm really excited to read Pat Barker because everybody talks about how amazing Pat Barker is. And this is great because this is Britain in the Great War. So rather than focusing on the military campaigns, I'm really going to look at the home front and women on the home front. Okay, and the last one. This is really special. Avon asked me if I owned any first editions. I don't think this is a first edition, but this is Mrs. Beaton's book of household hints. And it's printed in 1864, but it's made out. We don't know. This is nothing to do with my family. I think we must have found this. My grandparents must have found this in a charity shop. It's from something called Hermore to Annette L. Carrington, March 16th, 1866. And it's got colour illustrations, which is, I don't think that's a first edition thing. I think that's a bit later. But she's written her name in it. She obviously wasn't too impressed with Hermore's dedication, so she's put her own name in it, Annette Louisa Carrington, and then the date. Comprising information for mistress, housekeeper, coachman, valet, laundry maid, nurse and nursemaid. So it's really lovely. And she says at the start, I must frankly own that if I had known beforehand that this book would have cost me the labour which it has, I should never have been courageous enough to commence it. And I think Isabella speaks for most authors when she says that. And to that I reply, Isabella, I hear you, girl. It's completely decimated. The poor old thing's completely fallen apart. And it is on my list of things to do before I die is to get this book repaired. But not yet. And so that's it. That's my bookshelf tour. I hope you liked it. If you want to ask questions, feel free. And maybe we'll chat another day about book 3 and book 4. And until then, bye. Safe lockdown.